What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to another fun and exciting episode of the Creatia Conversation, where we talk creativity and media and all that nerdish. I'm your host, Lord Cussalot Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined once again by my co-hosts, Mara the motherfucking Shark Watkins. How you doing, Mara?
Hello. I'm doing good. How are you?
Glad to hear it. I'm doing all right. And who else we got here?
We're also joined by the warden Matt Ritter, the patron saint of podcasting.
Hello.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Travis.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. Starting to get hot.
It got cool up here. Hot.
I know, but I mean like the actual temperature of the atmosphere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And my surroundings. Starting to get a little annoyed by it, actually. Because that means, you got to start cranking the heat. I mean, not the heat, the AC, and then the light bill go up. And then I'm like, you know what? That's it. Done. No other electricity gets used in this house. I'm turning off all the lights.
I really do need to get some sunglasses. That aren't the rack sunglasses. I do, but they're the rack sunglasses, and we don't need that. But like, I need this whole like yin yang situation that you and I have going on, where like you're dark skin with the white beard, and I'm light skin with the dark beard. Like the whole symmetry thing to just be full.
I see.
So I guess you having glasses, me not having glasses works. You know, our beards are cut. What are you looking at, Mara?
I never realized. When did your beard go white?
A while ago.
Okay.
He dyed it.
I just typically color it with different things, I just haven't done it recently.
Gotcha. I was just like, when did it go back to that?
Just because I haven't, re-up the color in a couple.
Well, now I'm just sitting here thinking, how many weeks have I sat here with you and just kind of assumed that your beard was still colored?
Yeah, it's a gradual thing. That's why you probably didn't notice. It doesn't like all of a sudden one day just not be, purple and blue and green or some shit. It's just
like as soon as Matt said black with a white beard, and I just like looked over, I was like, does he? He does.
No, I was just making that up.
No, it wasn't that I thought you were making it up. It was kind of just more like, how didn't I notice when your beard wasn't colored anymore?
Yeah, because it's a gradual thing. So like I said, unless you were like actively looking for it, you wouldn't notice until after it happened.
I'm sorry, Matt. Keep going.
But getting ready to go on a trip next weekend, so I was not doing it again until then because I didn't want to do it like couple weeks before it starts to fade, but then get closer to the trip and it's starting to fade already, and it's like I have to re-up it, but I don't want to do it too often. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, don't worry. The bright and vibrant colors will return.
I kind of like us being solar opposites.
That's nice. I like the multicolored because it's fun. Gets people's attention. You never really forget the big bald black guy with the colorful beard,
Touche.
Anyway, what y'all been watching? What you been playing? What's going on?
You want to go first, Matt? Do you want to go first, Travis?
I don't care. We finished today the latest season of Oak Island, which pissed me off because they got a big pile and they were going through the pile and they like did a couple passes and they're like, well, we have the rest of this pile, but we have to wait till next summer, so bye. And it's like, it's fucking stupid. Kate and I have been watching Handmaid's Tale, so we've been slowly working our way through that. I'll probably watch that after we get off here and Zoe goes to bed. For whatever reason, I randomly decided to just start watching Dragon Ball Z again, and I am currently in the Frieza saga.
I started rewatching it a couple months ago. Didn't get too far. I'm like still like before Vegeta and Nappa actually show up on Earth.
I got that in one day.
I didn't watch it a long time. It was more of me just kind of watching it before work one morning and then before work another morning kind of thing. I didn't get far.
I am watching DBZ Kai though, so they cut out all the filler episodes and stuff. So Might be why it's moving a little quicker.
You're not a real fan.
What's available? Finished Andor. Caught up on The Last of Us.
Okay. Penultimate episode. How you feeling?
I mean, it was backstory, Travis.
This
An
Last of Us?
explanation.
Yeah.
Yes, this is Last of Us?
Yes.
Okay, I'm muting y'all.
But yeah, a lot of people were like, it's funny thing is the porch scene in the game doesn't happen until like the end.
I can see you.
Okay.
I can see me see you.
Yeah, had to mute her because I guess she didn't realize. But
I wanted to hear more of what they were going to do and what they were going to say.
I will. But what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about the scene that didn't come till the end of the game?
Oh, yeah, on the porch where you like the whole time you think this whole time that, Joel and Ellie never really had a chance to reconcile, but they actually did.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things
right.
where they kind of hinted at it that that day before, or the day before, like the day that he got killed, when she first was out about in the village and shit talking to Jesse, and she was like, "Yo, me and Joel shit is complicated. Joel's still Joel, I'm still me. We're fine. We'll be okay." All right. Really, the reason why she said that is because they had that talk.
Right. I did appreciate, so like we've talked about how everyone kind of is shitting on Bella Ramsey for her face and her being cast. But that whole scene where they went and they found the dinosaur and then she went, like, that's why she was cast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that she can be the badass that she has to be, but also that like perfect portrayal of childhood innocence.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's one of those where, speaking of that, just how even like right after that, how they're like walking back and she has that moment, she looks at the fireflies and it occurs to her again, like, what he told me didn't make sense.
mm-hmm.
And it's brief, but you see her throughout the years of where they tell it through the birthdays, how she's starting to really start thinking about it, and more it's bothering her. When it finally gets to the point where she breaks, you realize she's just like, nothing actually specifically told her, or she never actually specifically found out or anything through something like concrete, but she knows Joel. And through knowing Joel and his behaviors and all that kind of stuff, she's like, he fucking lied to me.
I'm a little more annoyed at the fact that all of the bullshit that we saw leading up to the porch scene, where she actually finally confronted Joel and asked him to tell her the truth, like, her annoyance and her being a dick to Joel wasn't because she had talked to Joel and Joel had said, yes, I did this. That kind of bugged me because, like, she, not for no reason, because there was the whole first patrol and him saying he, like, her annoyance was what we finally got to see that we were told about in like the first episode with the therapist, about how Joel killed the therapist's husband and he lied to Ellie about shooting the therapist's husband, saying, yeah, go get the horses, I won't do anything, and then took him out to fucking the river and told him, look at the flowers, and popped him in the back of the head. Like, that was where her annoyance was, but they let us believe.
See, here's the thing. It's deeper than that. It was because he lied to her about that, and he said the exact same words he said to her about the fireflies and everything, led her to be like, oh, he lied to me. He lied to me about that too. She had never ever actually said it, but that's how she felt, that he also lied about that. So he hadn't actually said it to her, but she still had the idea like, oh, no, he lied to me about that too. So right, yes, that is why she was mad. But what led to it was him lying about the other thing.
No, I know, but they kind of made us believe like they had already had the talk. I felt like that was the impression. So you played the game, so you kind of knew what was going on. The impression I got from not playing the games was they had the talk. Joel had already admitted what he did, and she has been holding it against him and being a dick. Which, okay, fair, fine, even though he saved your fucking life and kept you alive. Whatever. Sorry.
I hear you.
Like, yeah, your life would have had purpose. Great.
But you would have been dead. And here's the thing: like I didn't actually say this to anybody, but I remember thinking it because I was out for a walk the other day. It was actually Monday because it was the day after, and I'm walking around and I'm thinking about this, and I'm just like, again, in this sense, because of the way things turned out, that's his fucking kid, and yeah, there's a possibility that them doing whatever they would have had to do and kill you would have created a cure. It's possible. We don't know that. He don't know that. But even if it was a guarantee that it was a cure, I wouldn't have done it then either.
No.
Like, it's just, think about it. God himself, Matt, is the only person that I know of that actually willingly did that. And even he took it back a couple days later. So you expect me to do something that God himself is not willing to do? No.
And not just that. God tried to make Abraham do it and then said, nah, it's like, just kidding, I ain't gonna do that to you.
Yeah. That too.
Though he did take the firstborn sons of everyone in Egypt at one point, but
well, the Egyptians were dicks.
Yeah. They had an opportunity to not lose their firstborn sons and decided, no, we're not going to do that. Yeah, you could have retracted your shit and saved shit, but you're like, nah, locusts, frogs, like just
like I hit you with everything else first.
We gave you 9 chances. All right. 9 chances. Why are we talking religion? Anyway, I enjoyed it.
That's my point, though. Like, even God himself was not willing to do this. So why should I have to?
I guess my only, because you said it's the penultimate episode, I guess my only issue with this season, and like you said, they split the second game into 2, is outside of Joel dying, which I thought happened way too early in the show. And then I'm like, there's got to be a lot more shit happening. Nothing has really happened in this season. Like, we got a lot of exposition and a lot of explanation, and Joel got killed, and but I thought after Joel got killed, I'm like, we're kickstarting shit, and we're really going to get into some shit. And now we're going into the final episode. Like what?
Because I'm curious as to what you thought was not. I don't even know. I don't expect you to have anything particular that you wanted to happen, but like, what kind of getting into shit do you mean?
Well, all right. So it seems like the end goal is a showdown with Abby, right? And we got to Abby really quick, and then we went and we did this backtrack. Hey, by the way, this is how we got here episode. Now we're there. Like, the stuff, I don't know. It doesn't feel like we're going into the final. Like, enough has happened. Enough buildup has happened with Abby to go into the final episode. And I'm going to be really upset if we end this season on her getting face-to-face with Abby, and then we'll see you next season. Because that's going to piss me the fuck off.
Let me tell you why you're pissed off, because you're looking at this wrong. You're looking for plot points. This show is about the characters. And what the characters do and how the characters react to things and how they grow. So you're looking for plot points. And that's not it's not what the game and what the show is about. Even the original season, it wasn't about the plot points. It was about Joel.
Yeah, okay, but there was a journey in the first one, right? We got her. We were going to go and get the cure. And then when we got to that point, it was, now we've got to get to where my brother's at. Like, there was a journey. They had goals of places they were going to go, and there was a build up to when they got to the hospital to hand her over, and then the shit that happened is like, all right, fuck, now what goes on here? And then the journey to find like a safe haven after that and keep her safe. So like, that
didn't happen until the end, dude. The whole thing with the hospital and all that was at the end. That's why they started this season with that. So it wasn't like a journey to a safe haven. You didn't watch that.
Well, we saw them at the end of the last season. We saw them get up to whatever the name of the town is.
Well, yeah, but that was like not even an episode. That was still at the end. You're naming things that happened at the end, really.
Yeah, but everything built up to that. That's my point. Everything built up to that. That's my point. Whereas I felt like, I don't know, Joel died, so it felt like everything was building to a showdown with Abby. And I don't feel like we've really built enough to get to that point yet. Like, everything just kind of feels like it happened so quick. And she's like, the two of them just took off and they went into town, and now they're in town. And then they had to show off with some of the wolves. And there's also this little side story about the weird fucking cult shit. And pregnant girl got shot in the knee. And like, there's a lot of stuff happening, but none of it feels like it's building to a season finale. That's my point.
I can't tell you why you're wrong because you don't know what I know. But I'm
just watch next week, and then I'll tell you next week if I'll tell you next week.
Here's the thing, I have a feeling I know what's gonna happen next week,
and I'm not gonna be happy.
That's not it. I think it'll make things more clear to you. I don't know if that'll make you happy or unhappy, but it'll make certain things more clear.
Well, I feel like you know me well enough to know whether I'd be happy or unhappy, but
I do in most cases. But there's certain things where I'm just like, oh, I thought he'd be into this, and then it turns out you're not. So
fair.
Nice to not be silenced anymore.
Well, we had to mute you because you muted us, but you didn't mute yourself. And then we heard you saying, I'm looking at you, looking at me, or whatever the fuck you were saying. I see you seeing me, or whatever you were doing.
We were trying to have a conversation and the people couldn't hear us.
I wanted to know. I told Travis to just let you go. I wanted to know where this was going. I was curious as to how that was going to end.
I'm sorry. I thought I muted my mic. I guess it didn't work on the system.
Nope. Anything else?
With what?
I'm gonna go see Bloodlines this weekend.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Enjoy.
What about you?
Tomorrow, actually.
Hey. This past week I watched White Lotus season 2. I started season 3. I haven't really gotten too far into it, but I did get through all of season 2. What else did I watch this week? I don't know. I don't feel like I watched a lot outside of probably YouTube. Oh yeah, no, because I was doing graduation stuff most of the week over the weekend. So my brother graduated from college. And then playing, I finally got to open The Sims today. I updated a lot of stuff.
Did it break your game again?
No. I hadn't opened it in like weeks, and I know that several mods had updated in between that time. So I just had to go back in and find the updates and do all that. So
I just know when you update the actual game, like from them, it breaks a lot of the mods. And then
yeah. When I opened the EA app, I didn't see like an actual update for the game, but I feel like there's one coming because they just released a new laundry list of things that are on their queue of fixing. But other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Snap, not a lot. I'm not really too thrilled about this season or its offering of season cards. So I feel like there was an opportunity to do a Thunderbolt season and they didn't do it.
Oh, that would have been dope.
You know what I'm saying? It would have made fucking sense.
Yeah, they kind of half-ass gave us Thunderbolt stuff in Fortnite, but not really. Like there was Bucky and then there was White Widow, but it wasn't Florence Pugh. So I was like, I'm not spending money on that. I did buy Darth Jar Jar though, because that's fucking cool. Sith Lord Jar Jar Binks, that's awesome.
Heard there's a whole kerfluffle because they decided they were going to use AI voice for Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. We've tried to fuck with it, but unfortunately, you have to be in game chat, not in a party chat. If you're in a party chat, it doesn't work. So, and we just figured that out the last time I played with them, so I don't know if they fucked with it since. But yeah, no, apparently he was like killing people on his own team for things that they've said to him, because it's not just an AI voice. I think the whole character is AI. It even says Darth Vader AI when you like get him on your team. and he's been, using racial slurs.
I'm about to say
swear
people
words,
get him to
and
say
all sorts
racist shit. No, yeah.
yeah. You know how the gaming community is, especially shooters.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Well, I'm aware.
Well, also Fortnite came back to iPhones and iPads, or to the App Store.
Ooh.
Yeah. It was doing some big ass download of like 12 gigs, and I was just like, never mind, on my phone. I was just like, I don't know about that. But yeah, that's been about it.
Okay.
Quick update. Dragon Ball Daima is still not out in dub on anything but Crunchyroll, but I did see, I think it was last week or this week, the last couple dub episodes did drop. So maybe now that the full dub season is available, I'll get it soon on Netflix or Hulu. And
Yeah,
if
you
not,
probably get it on Netflix within the
fuck
next
you.
month. Yeah, it'll probably be sometime within the next month you get it.
Pissing me the fuck off.
Hoping for you.
Did you know Goku has not theoretically killed anyone in Dragon Ball Z? I did the
Killed
math.
who?
I didn't know that,
so
but I
hol-
would have assumed it.
So hold on. Well, a lot of characters die, but it's always other people killing or defeating them. It's never really Goku. Goku technically killed Kid Buu with the spirit bomb, but my argument was that the spirit bomb was all of the people's spirits that killed Kid Buu. It wasn't an actual attack.
He gathered the energy from them to do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it wasn't. Did it?
It wasn't him. It was all of
It
them
was
together.
him.
It was the world combined.
And literally
that
wouldn't
Kid
have
Buu.
happened if he hadn't done it.
The only person in Dragon Ball Z that he technically killed was the Majin light monster that absorbed all of his light and then exploded. And even then, it wasn't like he was intentionally, I don't think, really trying to kill it. He was just trying to overfeed it, and it blew up. He's a little bitch.
He literally killed Majin Buu with his move. Like,
actually, it's Kai's move. He stole that shit. It's not even his.
He did it, so it's his move. I ain't never seen King Kai do that shit.
Listen, Mongo did the tombstone. That wasn't his fucking move. Just saying.
But I've seen The Undertaker do it.
R.I.P. Mongo. R.I.P. Sabu. I'm sorry, Travis. What have you been watching and playing?
That went places.
Oh, I was waiting for Mario to finish. You done?
Yeah, all I was saying is that, like, of what I have seen of Dragon Ball Z and what I know of Goku, I did not know that fact, but I wouldn't be surprised by it.
You know who has?
Who has?
Vegeta.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
Vegeta be
and he
marking
seems
it.
like, yeah, like he seems like it. Like he gives that. Yeah, I definitely.
Vegeta made a robot scared. He put fear into a machine.
It's fucking Vegeta.
He said, "I would definitely kill first, ask questions later on."
He killed theoretically his best friend. Like the first thing we saw him do.
Stand there and watch other people fight was kill Nappa. Yeah.
Well, first it was a Cyberman, which was like one of his soldiers, but whatever. Like they were.
That don't count. They weren't real people. He grew them from beans. Like
exactly. Like the first on-screen offense that Vegeta had was murdering his best friend for getting his back broken.
Mm-hmm. He said, "I don't associate with weak ass bitches."
He said, "What kind of life is this that you'll be living? Might as well."
He literally said, "You're paralyzed. You're no good to me."
Bye. Right? Might as well just end it.
Yup.
Also, I need to see Ultra Ego Vegeta. Because apparently that's his newest form, his final form, is Ultra Ego. And I've seen a lot of stuff about it, but I haven't seen it. So, like, Goku is Ultra Instinct, right? Where, like, his body moves
that's what you're
just on instinct.
Yeah.
But Vegeta's is Ultra Ego, and I need to see this.
That tracks.
Right?
That tracks.
Right?
Yeah, I like that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's funny because off topic, but not really. In D&D, I created this character named Halavar. He's Dragonborn, of course, but his whole backstory, I didn't realize this until like yesterday that I did this. But his backstory is he's the prince of his clan. And he was sent away by his parents off to do something like a mission or something like that. And while he was away, all his clan and everybody got killed, came back on a revenge kit kind of thing. And I realized later on, like, I just made fucking Vegeta.
You did. I also read somewhere that the reason that he's still Prince Vegeta and not King Vegeta is because he doesn't have a planet to be king of anymore because it was destroyed. But also, once his father was killed, anyone who would be able to announce him as the successor in that role was also killed. So because he was never declared king by official
he was never
royal whatever, he is not the king. So he's the forever prince. Fuck it, let's just talk about DBZ for the rest of the show.
I mean, I'm down, but nothing much new for me as far as watching and playing. Only new thing is I started watching that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Because I was just like, my favorite form of anime is an isekai, and this is like one of the most famous isekais out there. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and start watching this. So we started watching that, enjoying it. Have I explained to you what isekai is, Matt?
Yes, we've talked about it.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, that's all. Pretty much everything's business as usual. But thank you all for sticking with us for so long. Let's get into our topics. Let's see. Shouldn't reveal it already. Call it, Mara.
Heads.
Matt, what's your topic?
My topic is, what is a movie franchise that should make a comeback? So essentially, I said tomorrow I'm going to go see Final Destination Bloodlines. There's also been announcements of characters for the new Hunger Games movie. A lot of Jurassic World has a new movie coming out. There are a lot of franchises that are getting, kind of rebooted and brought back after a little while. Nice little break. Katie is still convinced that Camp Crystal Lake is going to happen. I am not. 28 years later. Thank you. Yeah, probably 28 Days Later was not my favorite zombie film, but we did cover it for our zombie stuff. And just because I've already seen the other two, I will probably go watch it. It looks good. I'm interested. But yeah, what movie franchise do you think?
Yeah, I know what she's talking about.
Really, that's the reason, Travis?
What did I give a reason for?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Did you have a reason for why you were watching that isekai?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Isekai is my favorite form of anime and all that.
Yeah. The reason why you were watching the time got turned into.
I mean, she's been pushing it for a while too, but the reason why I went ahead and watched it was because it's an isekai.
See, Katie's convinced it's going to happen. I'm not. Neither here nor there. What is a movie franchise that has been gone for a while or maybe a long time that you guys want to see revived, essentially? And I'll let you guys go first.
Okay. Now, when you say make a comeback or be revived, do you mean like in a continuing kind of circumstance or a reboot, or what do you have?
Either way.
Okay.
Whatever works for you. If you want to see a franchise rebooted that has been gone for a little while, we can do that. If you want to, they've been calling them requels. That was the new hot button term, especially in horror, with like the Halloweens and stuff, and the new Scream movies that have come out recently. Is like it's a sequel, but it's kind of also a redo-ish thing. So, Cobra Kai, that's or Karate Kid Legends is the other one that's back now.
Okay. So for me, I was thinking about this for a while, and I'm like, what is a series of films that I used to really enjoy and I need them back and I want them redone because I was thinking, redoing it kind of thing. And thinking about it, because vampires and werewolves are cool. Not the Twilight ones, though. I'm like, you know what? Let's bring back Underworld. And let's do it with some different people, though, because I honestly got tired of Celine after a while. The last two movies just didn't really do it for me. I watched them anyway. Don't get me wrong, I watched them. But Underworld Evolution, Rise of the Lycans, fantastic movies. I loved them all. The last two, I was just like, eh.
Yeah,
and then the fifth one came out. I'm just like, I mean, I'll see it. But I went and saw it, and I was just like, eh.
Yeah, after Rise of the Lycans, it was all downhill from here. That's very interesting because I thought you were going to say what my pick was, and you didn't. But Katie and I have been talking a lot about how, you know, in horror and stuff, everything kind of comes in waves, and we have been on a revamp of the vampire werewolf wave as of late. We've had Wolfman, yeah, a lot of vampire movies with like Sinners and Nosferatu and Abigail, and a lot of Wolfman and werewolves, and like a shit ton of wolf movies coming out too. So yeah, that makes sense. That way.
Well, at first I was gonna say James Bond, but then I know like there's already another James Bond in the works, or potentially in the works.
There's always a James Bond in the works.
But it's not with Daniel Craig anymore. They would be moving on to another.
Yeah, it's about time.
007. Yeah. But yeah, so that was out.
Pierce
but
Brosnan is my James Bond, so we'll.
But I went the Disney route, and I chose Halloween Town. But I wouldn't want it to just be a TV movie. Maybe they can make it a Disney Plus exclusive thing where they can make it a theatrical release. But there's the potential to kind of like they could redo it as a kid, still like kid friendly, or they could zhuzh it up a bit, make it a little bit more PG-13-ish, or what is TVY higher than TV PG?
No. PG is more mature.
It's higher up, yeah.
It's GY7 PG TV 14.
Okay. Yeah, they can make it TV 14 or PG 13-ish. Like they can even go even scarier with it. But
Mars to give me a hard R Halloween Town.
Sure.
Matt just wants a hard R.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a capital H.
Only when I say ginger.
Heavy on the H. Halloween.
Shout out to the gingers being black now.
Yeah, because apparently that's a thing. So.
Yeah.
For me, it was close to what Travis said. And part of my movie rewatches or my movie marathon thing, Deadpool popped up. So obviously Deadpool 2, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. And I was like, Eternals promised us Blade, and they have not delivered. And during Deadpool and Wolverine, Blade said there's only ever going to be one Blade. So Wesley Snipes, come on back. Dye your beard. Travis knows where to get the dye. We'll dye your beard. We'll give you one more run as Blade. Finally give you that big send-off that you deserve, because Blade Trinity was ass. You deserve
that was better. Not a good one to end on.
It was not.
Blade
2 was a fantastic movie. It's actually my favorite of the series, even though some people say 1 is the best, but I like 2 the best.
Me too.
Even though 1 has like one of the best lines I've ever heard in the film. Like, some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. And I'm like, that's deep as fuck, dude.
And he said the same thing in Deadpool and Wolverine. He just said some motherfuckers still trying to ice skate uphill.
Mm-hmm.
But when I did my reviews on Letterboxd for the movies, Deadpool was, if you don't like this movie, you hate fun. Deadpool 2 was, if you don't like this movie, you hate fun too. And then Deadpool and Wolverine was, if you don't like this movie, you hate fun and Wolverine. So those were my reviews on Letterboxd. But yeah, no, I think Blade, out of all of the characters that, like, don't get me wrong, it wouldn't be a revival, but sure, give Channing Tatum his Gambit movie because he was entertaining and he was fun. Why not? But like, Blade of everyone, Blade really deserves it. And we know that the MCU will let you do a rated R movie. So like, give us a rated R Blade movie as a nice send off. Amani said Fern Gully or The Matrix.
I didn't even think about The Matrix. You're right. A lot of people don't like those second two. Huh?
I said after that last one.
Which last one? Oh, yeah, I forgot that movie happened.
Yeah.
I damn sure forgot all about that movie. Oh shit. Oh, that was bad.
Yeah.
Considering that I had sat through 1 through 3 for the first time, like straight through, since I was like a kid, to watch that one, I was like, not a good one to end on.
To be fair, the only thing that Matrix Reloaded, the second one, I believe, because Revolutions was the third, really suffered from was the same thing that Blade 2 suffered from, and it really wasn't its fault, and that was just bad CGI at one point. Because like there's some bad CGI in
that
Blade
kind of
2.
Stuff doesn't really bother me. Listen. I think I've talked here before about how I love Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That is the definition of bad CGI.
I like the Michael B. Jordan Fantastic Four.
I've never seen it.
Really?
It's okay.
Really? If you don't. I don't know how I ended up not seeing it, but it got to be so far past it, and I was just like, I really don't care anymore. So I just never saw it.
I don't remember if they ever explained how Michael B. Jordan's sister was white, but
she was adopted.
Was she? Did they say that in the movie?
Something like that.
I don't remember, but
irrelevant. It's one of those days. Even still, it was like it's not real. We all know it's not real. Even if they were both white or both black, we know they weren't really related to each other anyway. I don't give a shit. But that wasn't even what made me not want to see it. It was really just it got to be so far past it being out that I just didn't care anymore.
Is that the only Marvel movie you've never seen? We'll say modern Marvel movie in your lifetime, because I know there's like some really old Fantastic Four and shit.
Oh, no. I've been the ones that let's start with, like, say the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. You want to start there?
From there, modern, yeah. I guess that's retro now, but whatever.
Yeah,
it's modern to me.
Anyway, I think so.
Interesting.
I
don't think I've ever seen Elektra. I know I watched Daredevil. I don't think I ever watched the Elektra movie.
You lucky dog. Because I did. And it's one of those things where, like, I saw when I was a lot younger, you're like, oh yeah, Elektra's gonna be hot too, blah blah blah. It wasn't even hot. Like, it was just like this is dumb. And it wasn't even like the fun kind of dumb, because I like bad shit too. But it's just like this.
She was adopted.
Okay.
In that one.
Yeah, it wasn't even the bad kind of movie that was fun for me. It was just like the worst thing you can do in a movie is like for me to be bored. And I was bored for most of that movie.
Yeah. Especially a superhero movie.
Yeah. But man, Fern Gully. Did they have sequels to Fern Gully? Or was it just that one? I don't even know how you would do a sequel to Fern Gully, but I mean they beat Hexus.
There is a Fern Gully 2, but it was a direct-to-video sequel.
The first one wasn't direct-to-video? Here's the thing. I don't remember seeing that in theaters. There's a good chance my mother took me to see it in the theaters, but I remember the tape. So it's one of those things, like the millions of times I watched it were on tape. So I don't remember if I went to see it in the theater or not. My mother took me to a lot of movies when I was a kid, though. So
isn't Avatar just Fern Gully?
It's less fun, Fern Gully. Yeah. It's like Fern Gully did the fusion dance with Dances with Wolves.
That sounds like it's terrible.
No, it's not. Avatar's not terrible.
Fern Gully was theatrically released.
I have never seen an Avatar movie. I have never seen the original Avatar.
I've seen
Avatar: The Last Airbender, but I have not seen either of those movies.
Yeah, I saw it. I was actually in Chicago when I saw it. And it was after I'd already moved to Florida, of course. But I was up in Chicago. It was during the summertime. And I was there because neither one of you know this person, but Lauren, her mother does this martini party every year, used to do it every year.
Ooh.
And we drove up for that. Me, Ken was with us. Mara, you know Ken, right? You know of Ken?
I know
so.
Ken from Facebook.
You know Ken? Well, yeah, through Facebook. But I'm like,
I think so.
yeah, you would know him through Brittany. But so me, him, a couple more of my frat brothers, we drove up there for it. And while I was there, I was actually staying at Britt's house. And while I was there, we watched Avatar because she had it, we hadn't seen it. And we also decorated my martini glass that I won a first prize for, which it was a Batman martini glass. It was fucking dope. But anyway, Avatar. That's how we started talking about that. I'm like, how did we get there? Fern Gully, Avatar. Okay, yeah. That's what happened. No, nothing else to say on that subject. What about y'all out there though? What's the what did you give us yours, Mark? What was yours?
Halloween Town.
Oh, right. And Matt gave us ours. He said Blade. Okay, cool. We're there. What about y'all out there? Oh, it's been a long week.
So professional, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. What about y'all out there? What's the movie franchise that you want to see make a comeback? We want to know. Put it right there in the comments below. All right. I got a trailer for you. This is a bit different than the type of trailer we normally do, but I thought y'all would probably be interested.
I don't like different.
I don't like change. Too bad. You're going to get this change and you're going to like it.
Oh, it's for the park.
Beyond this gate, find gardens of green. And
If they didn't bring Jaws back, I don't care.
to fill your dreams.
Did they take that ride out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was the most disappointing part of my my honeymoon.
I'm sorry.
My plan was to marry Kate and then feed her to Jaws, and then Jaws wasn't there to feed her to anymore. So, you know.
I mean, you could have just, given her to Megatron and let him kill her.
I tried that. He wouldn't take her.
Mm.
I hope she's watching.
Toothless.
I can't get Zoe into How to Train Your Dragon, and it hurts my feelings.
That's sad.
Especially because they're so quickly pushing out this remake in live action.
Maybe she'll like the live action.
Luna was talking today about the Lilo and Stitch movie coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, I think it's going to be really good. I was like, I mean, yeah. And she was trying to start being on it's good that they're live remaking them. And I had to slow it down. And I was just like, no. I won't lie. Stitch probably will be good if they stick to the story. But no one asked for this. Absolutely.
Problem is, she's trying to showing you people are. The kids are.
Yeah.
And I was just like, not like if they're trying to appeal to adults. Ooh.
I want to battle in the Ministry of Magic.
It's still fuck J.K. Rowling, but that looks so cool.
Yep. She's getting paid off that too, unfortunately.
Ugh. Why couldn't she just shut the fuck up?
To be fair, it's been 15 years since How to Drain Your Dragon, or How to Train Your Dragon. How to Drain Your Dragon. That's a whole different movie. How to Train Your Dragon was released.
Well,
There are lots of
And they're
videos
Damn.
about that, Matt.
I was gonna say they're talking about doing a Moana live movie. So
and I have feelings about that too, because Moana hasn't been out that long. It's still under a decade old because Moana came out when Luna was about 1. So it's just like, or close to 1. Like, to have something already be a great story and animated, and then to live action it,
Fuck
and they'll
yeah, it
probably
has.
change something. Like, they're not gonna be able to do Hey Hey the way Hey Hey the chicken was in the movie, because he's my favorite part of that movie.
You don't know that they can't do Hey Hey like that.
I
You saw what they did with Stitch in the commercials. So if they could do Stitch, they could do Hey Hey the same way.
guess it's like, but no one needs it right now. Like, can I
Listen, I'm
need
not a
a
live
nursing
action
home
hater. I'm not a
first?
remake hater. I'm all for it. You know, give it to us.
I'm not a remake hater. It's just kind of like, let it breathe. Like, some of the, like, when they first started doing the remakes, they were doing like Cinderella, which is from like the 30s. Like, so I understood that, like,
Yeah.
redoing that
Then when they
story.
did that and the money started rolling, and they're like, "Oh, we can do these and these and these."
Right. Like, they were just like, we should do everything that we just did.
The thing is,
They
they
could've given us
weren't
a
really
Tiana
hitting
or, like, a
before
beret.
until they did the Jungle Book, and the Jungle Book hit for real. And they were like, "Oh, people
Mhm.
like these." That was because that one was very good.
Yeah.
Like,
Snow White did not hit though, so we'll see how that goes.
No, but that was like, in all honesty, I feel like they greenlit that, and then they were just like, damn, I really don't want to do this. So how could we kind of tank it?
I'll say that was really an unforced error there. They
I was just like, all that money you got, and you can't do quick checks on people before you put them in close roles together.
yeah. Call it, Mar.
Tails.
My topic.
The streak is over.
Who is someone who had every right to become a villain, yet somehow they did not? Who do you have in mind when I bring that up? Matt has his hand up like he really wants to answer this question, so I'm going to ask Mara.
I'm kind of curious to know if we all have kind of the same person.
Go ahead, Mara. Who's
No,
yours?
Matt had his hand up first.
I know. That's why I said, where's yours?
Oh, so say mine first?
Yep.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man.
Interesting. Why do you say that?
Not my answer.
I feel like he has gone, like, even though like some of his storylines, they're not all the same Peter Parker and Spider-Man, but I feel like collectively, like, alone, though, the amount of things that Peter Parker, or aka Spider-Man, has gone through would probably be enough to set someone over the edge. Mentors turning evil or going bad, losing Uncle Ben, and in some cases also Aunt May, Gwen Stacy dying, being constantly attacked by the media, but mainly the Daily Bugle, Harry dying, also sometimes becoming evil, dealing with Venom. I was like, that's a lot.
I mean, he kind of did go evil for a while with the symbiote, but I got you.
Mhm.
But I feel like that's more like an outside force that kind of just,
Yeah, he didn't really choose
yeah,
that.
like,
He was driven.
Well, it amplified his inner darkness. Like there was something in there that it fed on and amplified.
Yeah,
So it was inside him.
But he was able to keep
like,
it in check if it weren't
yeah,
for the
like
symbiote, though.
he consistently holds back. Like I feel like someone I feel like, I don't know which movie it was, but I think one of them hit something and it was just like, have you been holding back this whole time? And it's like, yes.
I say the same thing about Superman all the time. He talks about it like he's constantly holding back. Like, imagine being in love with someone and you can't really hug them the way you want to hug them, because if you do, you'll break them in half. And I'm a hugger, so that would hurt me.
Right. I need that kind of affection.
Okay. What about you, Matt?
Well, the reason I was raising my hand and wanted to go first is because mine was very apropos based on the trailer that we just watched. Harry Potter.
Okay.
has every reason to be the villain. He, throughout the books and the TV show, the way he was treated in Order of the Phoenix and
by
by
his aunt and
Dumbledore,
uncle.
ostracized at school and blamed for Cedric Diggory's death, the way that his aunt and uncle treated him, his parents being murdered, his uncle / godfather being imprisoned his whole life, finally finding out that he was wrongfully imprisoned, not being able to then exonerate him, and then finally getting to know him and have a safe space, and then watching him be murdered in front of your own eyes after everything else that has happened to you and everything else that you have lost. Harry Potter should have murdered Voldemort and then become the new Dark Lord. Anakin Skywalker had far less going on and turned dark way quicker.
I mean, he had dead baby mama, so
He was evil. He turned evil before. He murdered children before baby mama and what he thought was his children died.
Well, he thought they were gonna die. That's why he started that way. From what I remember, I'm not big into Star Wars, but
he had a vision that they were going to die, not knowing that it was his actions that were actually going to cause their death, even though technically he's the one that killed his baby mama because he force choked her to death. Or they said she died from broken heart, but like he choked the fuck out of her. Anyway, but Vision, he had a premonition that she was going to die, and he went evil. Harry actually had. There was no premonitions. Bad shit just kept piling up and piling up and piling up.
I hear you. Well, for me, what actually just brought this into my mind to begin with, I was, I think I was scrolling through YouTube or something like that, and I saw an ad for some reason for X-Men 97. And I just started thinking about everything that the X-Men go through, how people treat them on a regular basis. I'm like, you know how lucky y'all are? They don't just decide, fuck y'all, and decide we gonna murk everybody and take over. Like, you got Magneto over there, and I still say Magneto was right. But like the whole time, you have all these people who are constantly trying to protect you from these fucked up people. And your choice is to throw trash at them, scream beauty, blah, 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 which is, MCU for nigga. Like, it's just like, oh, what the fuck? When you got these people who clearly you're alive right now because they choose not to kill you. And you're like, if at any point they decide enough of this shit, Storm decides I'm tearing all this up. Hurricane, tornado, lightning all over y'all asses. Your city won't exist anymore.
The realization of that is the fear in them, though. Like, they know what you're saying, Travis, and that's why they are so radicalized against the mutants, is because of the fear, unfair fear, that was produced by the government and outside factors. And, this is all an allegory for everything that's happened in our world, neither here nor there. If you haven't realized that Charles Xavier is Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and Magneto's Malcolm X, then I don't know what you've been watching or paying attention to, but most people that don't pay attention to that stuff miss.
You're part of the problem.
So.
But yeah, it's one of those where it's just like, the fear is what drives them to do. But guess what? Your actions are what would drive them to be in that way. And it's just like, you want them to do it? Do you want them to decide to fuck you up? Like, it's like, I don't like to say people are asking for it, but you're asking for it. Like,
oh, they definitely
It's
were.
like when we used to watch Super Flashy Arrow and someone would talk to Clark sideways on Superman and Lois, and you'd be like, yo, who the fuck are you talking to?
Like, all the time. Like, are you out of your fucking mind? You've seen what he can do. Why would you talk to him like that? You should be coming to this man with your full humble.
Like, just, you should be ready to be subservient at any moment.
Because at any moment, he could decide he's tired of you and end your existence.
Barry Allen would also be a good choice for people who deserve to go evil after everything they've been through.
True.
Yeah, Chris overheard, and he was just like alone off of Reverse Flash, tormenting him through space and time.
Yeah. Even that dubbed over thing that was from before, where he just had that with the Reverse Flash, where they did the dub over his voice. They said the first time he was with a girl and he came on his pants, like, no, that was me.
That was me, Barry. I
jerked you off at light speed and made you come in your pants.
It's just like, damn.
Oh, have you not seen that, Matt?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it was somebody dubbed over Flashpoint Paradox. Have you seen the animated movie Flashpoint Paradox?
Yes.
So somebody dubbed over that movie with the Flash's voice, with the Reverse Flash's voice talking to Barry, and told that story. Like, you remember the first time you were with a girl, you came before you even got it? I'm like, no, that was me. But yeah, Barry Allen's another good choice. He definitely, everything he went through. Whew.
What was your pick, Travis?
The X-Men.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how we started all this superhero talk. See, look, I can do it too. I forgot. You just said it.
It happens. What about y'all out there? Who is the character out there? What's up?
I want to know why Justin thinks Alfred's not getting rightful payment.
Yeah, I don't know why he thinks that too. Like, what? Yeah, what indicates that he's not being paid handsomely? Like, okay, Mara found it.
Did I? Yes, I did. Just make sure I don't deafen y'all.
It was me, Barry.
I made them draw Lola Bunny with fewer sexual features so that you wouldn't be horny and reduce your blood flow to make you a millisecond slower. Slow enough for me to kill Iris. Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it'd seem like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
Well,
I feel like there's a clip that's a little bit longer than that, a little bit more fuller than that, but yeah.
That's the part that's important. Okay. What about y'all out there? What is the character you have in mind who had every right to become a villain, but somehow, some way did not? We want to know. Put it in the comments below. Normally I'd go to another trailer, but we don't have time for that. Mara, what's your topic?
If you could do a ride along with a superhero for an afternoon, who'd you go with?
Okay. You want us to go first? You want to go first? How you want to do this?
Sure, you guys go first.
Okay. I said Black Panther because a lot of that ride along will probably take place in Wakanda, and I'm with it. It's really just that simple. I get to be around the motherland and the people, and they just in their highest form. Yeah, give me that all day, every day.
I feel that. Matt?
I have two answers. One is the serious answer, and then one is the bullshit answer. The bullshit answer is the Thunderbolts, but specifically just Yelena.
Right. What
I don't know how long this ride along is going to be, but I'm spitting game the entire time. I'm shooting every shot I've got, and we'll see how it goes by the time that ends. The actual answer is Mirage from Transformers Beast Wars, the movie that just came out. Now, I'm not a huge Pete Davidson fan, but I kind of forgot that it was Pete Davidson voicing the character, and that was the coolest fucking Autobot. Like, he just wanted a best human friend to chill with. And how dope would that be to be in a car that could be any car that will drive you around? You get to be a passenger princess, and the whole time it just wants to be your best friend, but also will suit you up so that you can fight Decepticons. Because Mirage became Bro's suit, and then he went to go fight motherfuckers. Like, yes, all of that. Give me all of that.
I remember that movie towards the end of that movie, and I was just like, could you imagine Sam Witwicky realizing that they were able to do that shit? Because that's technically that, cool enough. Because it was a prequel to his
first
part,
Transformers.
to his time, and I was like, could you just imagine if he just happened to see video of them doing that?
You guys could have done that and saved me the whole time, and you just said, fuck
Right.
me. They let him die. Megan Fox cried, and then I cried because Megan Fox cried.
He was like, you could have saved my relationship.
It was temporary.
It was temporary. But yeah, no, Mirage.
Just like
Mirage.
Jesus.
But so my choice was, I went again with Spider-Man. But also I went with Kick-Ass because I just feel like that would just be an interesting day. It could probably go anywhere.
See, I was also kind of in the mindset of who would put me in less mortal danger. Because I thought about, okay, I'm like, not Batman, because Batman, I don't feel like he would care enough to keep me alive. He would care, but not enough to where he would sacrifice the mission to keep me alive.
I thought of Batman, but then I was just like, I feel like he would be like, if you want to do this ride along, you have to train a little bit just in case. And I feel like to some degree, he would punch me in the face and tell me to just stand back up. And that would be the end of my ride along.
See, for me, it was just like, no, because Joker killed his kid. Like, he's
like, I got to make sure you're strong.
Like, I'm not getting involved with anything, Batman, because when that ride along is over, one of those villains will come up one time and decide to take me hostage because the Joker finds it funny, So not that. And then I'm like, Superman fights these world-ending villains and shit. No, I want no parts of that either. So I'm like,
I also have nothing to contribute.
Right. Black Panther, I feel like would be interested enough to where I see some cool shit, but most of it would be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. Those feel like safe choices. I mean, Spider-Man, I feel like that would just be cool to swing around with him.
Oh yeah, I'm with you
for a little bit, and then Kick-Ass also. And then Kick-Ass also being from New York, I just thought, just like, again, it could really just be some neighborhood hijinks that we get into, or just might stumble across a crime syndicate.
Who knows?
Right.
Okay. So what about y'all out there? Who's a superhero out there right now or before at any point that you like? I'd love to do a ride along with that hero. Let us know. In them comments, we want to know.
Tell us.
All right. How much time y'all got?
Enough for a trailer.
I can do one trailer and then I got to bounce.
Cool. This is for something that I thought that the title of it and the star was interesting. So figure let's take a look see. I'll never see it because it's on Apple TV, but Chief of War.
Ike ana oi ike ko ana o ka wānana e kai ana. Nā e imi ke ana.
I will say one thing that is consistent about God, I forgot his name already.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Right there. If you just waited another 2 seconds.
Jason Momoa, and I would even say sometimes The Rock, they are going to stick true to these tribal roles when they get them. They love them a tribal role. Especially Jason Momoa.
He said Moana. How about Momoa?
Interesting.
So it's coming to Apple TV in August. Again, I'll never see it because I don't have Apple TV and I don't plan on getting it. But, those of you with Apple TV, do you automatically get Apple TV if you got Apple products?
No. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I can't even get my Apple TV. I'm supposed to get it through T-Mobile with my subscription, and I can't even get that to fucking work. So
Yeah, T-Mobile is also weird. Like, I mean, mine might be different because I'm on like a business plan, but yeah, I just stuck with Netflix with them. I know that like sometimes when you get certain things from Best Buy, they give you like a month or 3 months of something from what I saw. Because every time I've bought something from Best Buy, I get like an email like, oh, here's like a month of Apple Music or something, depending on what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's some trial though sometimes if you're not already subscribed to like Apple Music, if you get the headphones, I think it'll be like, oh, here's like a free month. See if
Okay.
you like it. Yeah. I don't know. Can't really speak too much on it. Apple.com.
Well, folks, that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Don't forget you can follow us on all them socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at It's Creatia World. That is at ITSCREATIA World. What was that face for, Mar?
Did you just call this Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow?
Did I?
Yes.
Creatia Conversation. That's what this show is. Damn. Wow.
I was like, did I just hear that?
Wow. Anyway, yeah, on them things, follow us there at It's Creatia World. Also on Blue Sky at creatiaworld.bsky.social and on Facebook at facebook.com/Creatia World. And also while you're there, you should check out our Facebook groups, one of them being facebook.com/group/them dragons. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, any of that cool stuff, come in there, talk to us about it, or just share a picture of a dragon because dragons are cool. We also have facebook.com/groups/smacking it raw. Matt, tell them about that shit.
it's a wrestling group. It's on Facebook. It's fun. Go there.
Go there. You can find me on all the socials at Lord_Cussalot. That is at LORD_CUSSALOTT, except on Blue Sky where there is no underscore. Mara, where can they find you?
All those same places at Mara the Shark, MARADASHARK.
Matt Man.
Twitter at Matt Ritter, at MATTRDDR for wrestling, at Getting Off for horror. Both of those things are happening this weekend, but swapped. Getting Off this Saturday, Smacking Raw Sunday because of the pay-per-view. So come check us out there. And then everywhere else on socials, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky at Smacking It Raw.
This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. That's just still so weird to me.
Not feeling pretty. Is this? I guess that's another thing of being patriotic, right?
No, it's because, Memorial Day is the last Monday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
And
Bye, Matt.
because of the way that Memorial Day is, the last Monday of the month is like almost a week before the 31st. So
yeah, that's why I was just like, bye, Matt.
It's just like, what the hell? Anyway, we'll catch y'all next time. Until then, we out.
Later.